48, 47, 46. Did you start it already?
Yeah.
32, 28, -7, and 1, 0.
I really liked that bit, and I'm really glad we started on that bit. I was planning to do the, like, iCarly, how it starts with...
I know, you see.
Yeah, but it starts with him counting down from 5, 4,
Yeah.
2, and then he points at him, because that's what the professionals do.
Yeah, but it's a podcast, so I think people wouldn't really be able to tell if we were pointing.
That's fair. Well, and then I was going to start singing, I know, you know... Wow, I don't know any of the lyrics.
I know, you see, somehow the world will change for me and be so wonderful.
Bow, bow, bow.
Breathe life, some air, somehow. I know we're gonna get there. Something wonderful. I don't know.
It's all
For real, I'm telling you just how I feel. So,
okay, we got it.
Yeah, we got it. We got there.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. Welcome back to the podcast where Ethan and I just sing songs.
Yeah. It's the first podcast that isn't a podcast.
Yeah. It's just a weird shitty radio.
That's not a bad name for a podcast. Shitty radio.
I mean, that's kind of, yeah. All right, watch out. New podcast coming.
New podcast coming your way. And we do, like, radio plays, and they're all about poop.
Man. They want us to do the poop so bad. Everyone's been begging for it.
Clamoring for it. Wait, I should check. I don't think anyone did leave a comment. You rat bastards.
Yeah, come on. Just one person.
I ask for one thing out of you motherfuckers.
Well, one person please comment, please. Please say, hey, can you talk about poop, please?
Fucking prove that you're a real person watching these videos to me.
Or literally anything else.
Not that it matters necessarily, because
genuinely, I feel like I'm only ever recording these, so I just listen to them back later. But I haven't even listened to the other ones. I think I've listened to our first 3, and then I kind of fell off.
Okay. We fell off.
But it's really worth listening to. No, don't click away. It's a really good podcast. Keep listening.
No.
I'm just really busy. But it's fine.
Yeah, this one's just a little late.
Yeah. Well, no, see, now we're switching to Fridays.
Oh, that's right. Right. Yeah, we're just getting
I got some weird Thursdays coming up, so... Yeah, so we're sticking with the Friday schedule, and hopefully Ethan has his post-work week energy high. But this week, not so much. It's just, God, I don't know how you all feel, but I feel like, God, just so tired.
Dude,
I feel like so much has happened. So little has happened. I'm just so stressed, and I just want to sleep. So this week... on our podcast, we could talk about that.
Sorry, I'm distracted by our YouTube analytics. Let me click away from that.
I'm Abby.
And I'm Ethan.
And this is a show where
we could talk about that. Nailed it.
Yep, that was great. And this week we're talking about sleep.
It's a sleepy episode.
Yeah.
A little sleepy episode.
Cuddle up, get a nice blanket on you, maybe some tea, and cozy in for this little pod we're gonna have here.
I didn't comment on the. We have a color changeable. We have a light that you can change the color on, and Abby put on a very soft kind of neon pink.
Yeah, it's soft and neon are a little bit contradictory.
The light
She's a bubblegum pink.
I guess I'm describing the texture of the light, because it is a very soft light.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a neon bubblegum pink, and it's very sleepy, if you ask me. It's a very sleepy color.
Yeah. I don't know that I would necessarily say that that's a sleepy color, but that is.
Not bright.
We had in one of my childhood bedrooms, we had like string lights. That was when Katie and I shared a room, and it was Hello Kitty theme, and we had little string lights that were only pink, like that bubblegum pink. It's not so much a neon. Ethan's being a little bit bold about the neon. It's a little bit softer than that. But just bubblegum pink string lights and a pink Hello Kitty room.
I feel
So
like
I think in that way it's kind of sleepy to me.
yeah. I guess to me that's like a very like dreamy kind of color.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one question when you were talking about the lights in your room. Were you a big nightlight kid?
I did love me a nightlight. I didn't necessarily need one. Um, like I was never like, oh, I can't sleep without a
Right.
nightlight
Yeah,
on. I
you
was
weren't
never,
a bitch.
yeah, I was never quite to that level. But I also always just enjoyed a nightlight more so because it felt like it was something fun that you couldn't just do during the daytime. It was like something that made nighttime a little more special.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, because it's like a little light that like really only glows or really only stands out when everything else is so dark.
Yeah.
And if you had to like get up and get some water or go to the bathroom or something, it just helped you not knock your shins on the board of your bed or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's a good point. I was never much of a nightlight kid.
No.
No.
You just like sleeping in the pitch black.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't necessarily mind it, you know?
I used to have glow in the dark stars on my ceiling.
Oh, yeah, we had some also.
I just thought that those were fun.
Those are fun. And then they lose their glow pretty quick. And then
Yeah.
you just have plastic stars in your ceiling.
Just, yeah, tacky to your ceiling. Mm-hmm. But they were still fun.
Dude, what a wonderful moment in Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
Oh,
Right?
yeah. I don't know if any of you guys have watched that movie, but it's a really good movie.
It's awesome.
The scene that Ethan's talking about, though, there's a scene where we're not going to name any names we don't want to spoil this movie that came out in like 2009. But someone's in a hospital bed and there's like a kid involved that's like he's like standing up on a ladder, and the doctor turns to the patient and says like, oh, why is he standing up on a ladder in the corner of the room? The patient says like, oh, just making sure I have enough space. And then the lights shut off, and then there's just a bunch of glow-in-the-dark stars everywhere.
It's
like,
so good.
on the ceiling, on the walls, on the furniture, on the floor.
And then they do like a little shooting star across the...
Yeah, it goes from the window into the wall.
It's a very whimsical movie, and that is maybe the most... I shouldn't say the most whimsical moment, but it's among them, in my mind.
Yeah, I'd say there's a lot of whimsical moments in that movie. But, really good. Kind of feels like a dream. Ooh. Do you have any crazy dreams you remember when you were sleeping? Like anything that's really stuck with you?
The one dream that like was really stuck with me is when I was like, I don't know, 6. I felt like I kept having like a very recurring dream where I was like some sort of superhero that would harness the sun. I can't describe it super well, but I feel like it's stuck.
What would you do with the power of the sun?
I don't know, beat up some bully in my school, and then
sure.
the girl I had a crush on would kiss me.
Sure.
I don't remember.
I had a dream one time where I was a boy that beat up a bully and saved the girl and kissed the girl, and it was odd.
It was an awakening.
Yeah, I think it was. But no, my recurring dream that I had for the longest time was in Michigan. If you go from the lower peninsula up to the upper peninsula, there's a big long bridge. And we have family in the upper peninsula that we'd always drive up to see. And after going up to the UP so many times, I just kind of got this dream that got stuck in my head where that bridge became a Hot Wheels track. So it was like a big old loop. And I remember like bearing down, like double buckled, and our mom reaching back and saying, all right, girls, come on, we're gearing up. Let's make sure you're locked in safely. And I would always wake up before we made it all the way across. But then I had one dream where we made it across, and then I never had that dream again. So, hey, tell me about that. Tell me what that means. Anybody in the comments? What do you think that means about me and my brain?
Someone would do your dream analysis.
Yeah. Do you think dream analysis has any merit, or do you think it's just stupid?
Not really.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I guess I'm only familiar with like Freud's dream analysis, and all that stuff's been like discredited. There might be like new fields and studies and stuff, but I don't know. I think honestly, dreams are like when you wake up from a sleep almost, and your brain is still doing like neurological activity, like sorting through information that you learned while you were awake and like parsing it out into useful information and information you can kind of forget. Um, and then like when you wake up, the part of your brain that needs to rationalize existence to you is the thing that's like, all of this activity that's like happening is
Gotta mean something.
right.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not
yeah.
pushing it because I believe in it.
No,
But
yeah,
I do think that it's interesting that
Right.
my dream stopped after I made it across the edge.
right.
That feels like it should mean something.
Sure.
Because this dream it was a recurring dream over years of my life. I would say a good 9 years of my life was taken up by this dream.
Damn.
Yeah. Don't know what that's about. My other recurring dream is I'm usually just in a maze that's also a bathroom, like a women's bathroom, and there's like random toilets and random stalls. Sometimes they're like open to like there's a room with like 9 stalls just open and looking out at each other. Sometimes they're really weird and hidden. I don't know. I have a lot of bathroom dreams though.
I feel like I don't necessarily have recurring dreams, but I have like recurring locations.
Yeah. And I
Um,
guess that's kind of my thing with the bathroom
yeah,
situation.
and the
Or
two
my grandparents' house.
right. Well, hey, one of mine's my grandma's house,
Yeah.
but it's like a massive, totally altered version
Yep.
where it's like I feel like I'm in my grandma's house, but like each room is like a new room. Although there's like one massive bedroom that like
So that's kind of the
there's
same?
kind of always is the same.
Sure.
Um, and it's like a combination of like both of my grandparents' houses, and then it's like always being invaded, and I have to like fight it off in some way.
Oh,
And
that
then the
stinks.
other location is Grand Valley's campus.
Sure.
Um,
I've never had a dream
and
on Grand Valley's campus.
well, it's like
Believe it or
once
not.
again, it's like a super altered version where like
Right.
everything's like insanely massive, and there's like
Distorted.
there's a ton of different levels and places.
Do you have anything that you dream about that it's not distorted? Because I think that's just a dream thing to be
Right.
distorted.
No, I guess I don't know. I smoke so much weed that like I don't remember my dreams a lot. That's certainly one of the side effects.
Sure.
So,
Do you have any favorite sleep positions?
oh yeah, I mean on my stomach with like my arms on my chest and then like my head sideways.
I saw a TikTok lately that was talking about like how your sleep positions you choose relay like how much stress you have in your body. That position sounds like you're hella stressed.
Yeah,
But that kind of lines up, doesn't it?
yeah, kind of does.
It's the same with like your T-Rex arms being like folded in, like
Mhm.
that's another sign of like high stress. So I'm actively trying to not do that because I do that all the time. Or like the classic one leg up, you're like in a 4 position, one leg
I
straight
like
back.
that one also.
That's also high stress,
Oh.
believe it or not. Isn't that crazy?
What?
That's just so
who's
comfortable.
making this? Who's making this shit up?
It's good to lay on your back,
Who's this? Who are these?
and it's good to lay on your left
sleep
side for
position
lymphatic
doctors?
drainage. Ooh.
I feel like I've been sleeping on my back more recently, but I
Yeah.
don't like sleeping on my back. I
there's,
feel
like,
like I'm awake.
Certain ways to do it. Put like a little pillow under your knees so you're also supported because you don't want your back to get fucked.
Man, why are they making sleeping so much effort? What the hell? I'm just let me fucking sleep.
Hey, you can sleep however you want, but if your back's gonna get fucked, that's your own problem.
Hey, yeah, fuck you. Let me fuck my back up. If I'm going to bed.
Do you do anything before going to sleep? Anything that kind of puts you in the mood for bedtime?
Big old rip of the pen. No, I mean honestly,
You got a nighttime
just-
ritual?
honestly the closest thing that I have to a ritual right now is just the light going out at 11,
Yeah.
and then just like us watching some video. I don't know. I feel like I got a nice biorhythm of like 11 o'clock is time to get sleepy, and then I'm usually awake on my own before my alarm at 7. So
Sure. I always wash my face and brush my teeth
yeah,
and
you
go to the
certainly have way
bathroom.
more of a routine.
Well, 'cause you gotta get yourself ready for going to bed and not just pass out. Stanky breath. Gotta
I
pee
brush
in,
my
in an
teeth
hour.
most of the time.
Yeah. um, and I know a lot of people like shower before bed. I think I would if I don't know, if I maybe had less time in the morning or more time. It's kind of, I like right now with my schedule, it kind of works out perfectly to shower in the morning. Um, and my hair is short, so I get crazy bedhead. That now that I'm growing out my bangs, hopefully I'll be able to just shower in the mornings or in the night.
I used to be a shower before bed guy.
I used to be a shower before bed girl, and then my hair would be all wet, and I'd scrunch it up and try to get curls by the time I would wake up in the morning.
Did ya?
No. I mean, like, kind of. It's like the Irish curls, where it's like, yeah, there's a little bit of wave to it, but I didn't have any products or any know-how at 14 years old to know what the fuck to do with my hair, so I'd sometimes, like, braid it. That's what people still do, but, even that, it's still kind of wet in the morning if you got enough hair.
I remember being like around that age and like whenever I'd hang out with my friends and like have like sleepovers with them, they'd like, oh, I gotta sleep shirtless and stuff. And then in movies, you know, you'd see guys sleep shirtless, so I'd be like, oh, well, yeah, I'm a guy, I gotta sleep shirtless. Fucking hated it. Always. Still don't like really sleeping shirtless.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I can't imagine you, like, choosing to sleep shirtless. What the fuck? So,
Yeah, I
all
mean,
your friends got you sleeping shirtless, and now I get
well,
you doing
it's
cool.
societal pressure, yeah, to try and sleep shirtless. Didn't like it.
It feels
You
so
get
nice.
cold.
Sleeping in the buff. You
Yeah.
like sleeping in the buff, in the nude?
I really don't.
Oh, it's so nice. It's almost like being in the womb, you know? You're just exposed, all warm under your blankets. I don't know.
I'm not warm naked.
Yeah, you're generally just pretty chilly.
Yeah.
But if you had the right environment, like this summer, maybe, try experimenting a little bit more. Try sleeping
I mean, the
in the
only reason
nude.
I ever sleep naked is because, like, we're gonna cuddle naked, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever sleep alone naked.
God, but that's the best part. I think I honestly prefer that than sleeping with you naked. Crazy to say out loud.
No, that's fine.
But it's just nice.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not gonna take that away from you.
Yeah.
My neck's feeling weird like that. Do you, speaking of sleep and then my neck, to connect the dot, I remember, like, having, like, one of the worst fucking, like, sleeping with, like, a crooked neck or something, and then you get, like, a...
Ooh, the twinge in your
Yeah,
neck, and then
dude,
it's all
that
fucked. It's like
sucks.
Donkey and Shrek.
Mm-hmm. I'm, like, that one morning, maybe, like, a year ago at this
Oh.
point, where, like...
Yeah, my old apartment.
It was so bad that, like, if I moved my neck a little bit, I would cry, because, like, how bad it hurt.
I don't. Okay, was that when I didn't have a full mattress and we turned my twin bed to the side and we put a
Yeah.
futon and like some blankets and stuff underneath?
It wasn't even a futon. It was just like 3 mattresses that were like, I mean, 3 little squares of foam that were like connected.
Oh no, we took my couch cushions.
Yeah,
That's part of what that was, but there was like a little
and then
foam pad.
Yeah, on top of it to try
Yeah.
and make it a more
Bed
full
like
piece.
thing. Yeah. But then like your ass would just kind of fall in the crack and you'd get all cattywampus and couldn't do nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I always like to think that like we'll look back at that when we have more money. It'll be like, holy shit, dude, we were so poor at one point.
Yeah, the way things are going, I think, man, I was so rich to be able to afford that apartment pretty much all by myself. I mean, I had a roommate, but she was never there.
Yeah.
God, what a dream situation that was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would have obviously liked for her to be around a bit more, but nice to like generally have a space pretty much to yourself.
Yeah, it was a nice space and it was a big space. Well, not a big space, but big enough.
Yeah, big enough. I don't need a lot.
Sleep. Sleepy
Did
little
you ever
episode.
take like chamomile tea? Ever do the chamomile tea before bed? A nice warm drink?
No, not really. I remember like
Warm milk like a
trying to
kitten?
do like warm milk. Yeah.
Ugh.
But like, yeah, no, I was not a fan of warm milk.
Yeah,
Well, like,
no.
what a weird thing.
Yeah. I don't know why that makes people sleepy. But that's kind of the thing. It's like you need like your routine, your nighttime routine.
Right.
So even like washing my face and stuff, that does kind of wake me up, but it's one of the last things I really do at the end of the day. Um, I haven't been doing that totally regularly, but I'm at least brushing my teeth and maybe rinsing my face because I don't need to get into my whole face skincare routine. But
Do it.
yeah, no thanks. No thanks.
Drop the skin routine.
Yeah, y'all want to know about my products, my serums.
What's your? Oh, have you ever slept on a waterbed?
I never have. I've always wanted to. Edward Scissorhands, though, and he's like walking into Winona's writer's room for the first time, and he's popping her bed with his little nails. Kind of scared me, honestly, like off the idea of a waterbed. But I was never in a situation where like I was around a waterbed ever. I don't think I've ever sat on one. God, that sounds nice.
My best friend growing up, his parents had 2 waterbeds. So there was a time, and I was able to sleep on it one time.
How'd it feel?
It was weird.
Imagine sleeping on that naked. Oh God.
Well, they had like nice waterbeds that like you could like heat also and stuff.
Oh, that sounds like a dream.
I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I believe it. It's so sloshy, probably.
Yeah, and like you don't necessarily, you kind of sink into it, but in like I don't know. This is not a good thing to talk about.
Well, I think it's totally fine. You just don't have more to say.
It's just also an interesting idea for a bed.
Yeah, water. What would you fill a mattress with?
Other than
water or cotton fluff. Conventional materials.
Know,
what
maybe
would be
like
something
pudding?
you'd want to sleep on? Ooh, that would stank after a day or two.
Well, I'm assuming I have the ability to.
You want like a pudding-like material.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
You put a little saran wrap around it. You just smush into it. Maybe marshmallow fluff.
Ooh.
Jello.
You just want to sleep on food, I think.
Well, I'm thinking of materials.
Squishy foods, yeah.
Well, maybe
Mud.
Mud would be interesting.
Yeah. That's essentially a waterbed. It's just dirt.
That's a good point.
I don't know. Do you think you could ever sleep on like a hay bed? You know how that'd be like a big thing?
Oh God,
People used to do. I don't know. Like that's beyond uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, if that's the way they were in my time, then hey, what am I gonna do? But,
hey.
Oh, nice. Hey.
Yeah.
Did you ever go camping? Yeah, if you go camping?
I've gone camping.
What were you sleeping on when you were camping?
Well, it depends on... no, every time it would just be we're in a tent and I'm in a sleeping bag. I do not have a mat. I'm basically on rocks.
You're just on the ground?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what I did.
That's not good.
I mean, it was fun.
You really want something to get you off the ground.
Listen.
Even just like an inch.
For anyone who's going camping and that's their limit, they have a tent and then just a sleeping bag, find a soft patch of dirt inside the tent that you can like dig a little spot for your ass if you have an ass that's as big as mine is, so that way you can kind of sink into the ground and then your back is like straight. That would be... I'd have to hollow out an ass space each time that we'd move.
Hilarious.
And then we'd take away the tent and then I'd see the little ass carving. But it helped. That way I was able to like sleep straight. That's when I slept on my back the most, honestly. It was...
Did you guys have a big tent? We had a number of big tents.
We had a couple tents. Most of my camping was when we would just put up a tent in the backyard. Oh, but what I was talking about was when we went with our youth group up to the UP and went around like Pictured Rocks and stuff, and like we were outside of civilization for a week.
And did you have a mat then?
No.
What the fuck? Why? That's like,
there was only so much that could fit in
were you not freezing
in the
at night?
bus. No, I mean it was during the summer,
All
so
right.
warm enough.
But did it ever rain?
Yeah,
So you got super fucking wet then.
I mean it was a waterproof tent,
Right.
and
But,
then
alright.
a waterproof sleeping bag, and you just wear warm clothes.
Yeah. But I mean, even like a waterproof tent, if you're whatever, it doesn't matter.
It did its job enough.
Yeah.
Like you'd wake up a little damp,
Yeah.
but you're
If you
fine.
put a mat down, you wouldn't.
Well,
But whatever.
yeah.
That's just my Boy Scout
Yeah,
freaking out.
so tell me about your camping experiences. What would you put down?
Or you just put down like a little mat, like a little piece of foam mat that you really lay out about the size of you. You
Sure.
know, you just that way you're like a little bit off the ground. Because you don't want to do like an air mattress or anything.
No.
Because an air mattress, that air will get cold under you, and then all that heat will get whisked out. But
I've never been one for an air mattress. I think they're all right, but you always end up on one that's like somehow deflating.
yeah,
It's like always a little bit popped. You're like, it's like a brand fucking new mattress, and you'll use it twice, and then all of a sudden you'll be like halfway sunk down in the middle of the night and like have to roll out the side.
when were we on a mattress for a while? Was it when we were in the basement of
At
the
your parents'
Carlton
place.
house? Oh, my parents' place. Yeah.
I thought you were thinking of then.
Yeah, no, that's another time. What were we on the? Do you remember when we were in
And Carlton, yeah.
the
we
basement
were.
of Carlton?
Mm-hmm. No, I thought we just brought your mattress down. We definitely were just on your mattress.
Because we brought it down to
Because
the
I
living
think we
room.
dented the wall.
Wow.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Hey,
They didn't charge us.
yeah, no, American Realty, you have no idea.
But they charged us for a fucking window that our neighbor broke with his fucking lawnmower.
Yeah. Oh, God, I forgot about that.
You remember that? That was
From the
crazy.
outside, it's like very clearly not anything
Yeah.
that you guys did. Just happened to break, and yeah, whatever. They didn't see that dent. Even exchange. No, but it's not. Whatever.
Fuck American Realty. You awesome. Well, actually, they're kind of cool.
What do you think's a good
they're
time
big
to go to bed? When's ideal sleep time?
for me right now? Like 11.
11 to?
11 to midnight, somewhere in there.
Oh, no. Oh, you're sleeping from 11 to midnight, and then you're up. 1 a.m.
11 to like 7.
Yeah.
I think 8 hours is a good amount for me.
Yeah, definitely a good
Usually
goal.
around the 7 hour mark, though, I'm struggling to stay asleep.
I guess I usually go midnight to 8. Somewhere around there.
Nice, man.
Yeah. Pretty even scale there. Have you ever done anything crazy when you're sleep deprived?
No, I have a hard time staying up for a long amount of time. I remember
Not even. Did you ever do like a youth group all nighter? Any kind of.
I mean, there were a couple of times with the Boy Scouts
Sleepovers.
that we did like a lock-in.
Yeah.
And like, I would make it to like 3 a.m. and I would be just like, I'm gonna go find somewhere to sleep. Well, it's like
Your body was just shutting down.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm so goddamn tired. I just like need to sleep.
Yeah.
And this was like even before like smoking weed, because like I think a big reason why I get tired when I do is because I've been smoking all goddamn day.
Sure.
But even that,
Yeah, I don't know. I think I can keep going as long as I need to. I mean, there'd be a lot of nights in like middle school and high school where I'd say, "Yep, I'm going to bed," and this is when Katie and I each got our own rooms, and then I would like just sit on my iPod until like 5 a.m. and then go to sleep until like 7 a.m. and then have to wake up for like school or church. So I'd be like running on 2 hours of sleep pretty consistently all through middle school.
There were a couple times in college where I would be like editing something like all night because the next day I had to like have it ready for class and stuff.
Sure.
Like there was one time, I think it would have been Wizard Uno, because it was for Joel. You know, that was the only time I had my ever short film with Joel's class. Like I was editing it so close to the deadline and like entirely through the night that like when it was time for class, like I hadn't been able to export it. So the only way I could show it to the class was by bringing my entire computer with me. And like, I guess that's not such a crazy thing in the day and age of laptops, but I was editing like on my desktop and stuff, and it's a pretty big case. So
Yeah.
like I got on the bus with like my big desktop computer, and like I brought it to class with me and like hooked it up to the projector.
Oh
And then
God.
so we just watched my Adobe timeline essentially.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always pretty good with stuff during college. Like I never had like, oh God, I didn't study for that test. Let me stay up all night. I never did that.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I guess I never had it like that. Mine would be like procrastinating. More for papers. If it was something like film, I was on it. This was
Even
more
papers,
because
I was like good on. You know, I do like 100 words a day up until the deadline or
wow,
something.
good on you.
Yeah, I know. I was homeschooled, so I like have good structure for pacing myself.
Yeah.
But yeah. I when I was sleep deprived one time, this was my all-nighter that I went to with my youth group. I've told you the story about how I got my black eye. The one time I got a black eye.
Yes.
It was our church all-nighter, which like is fun, but it gets tough when it's like, I don't know, you got 30 kids and you're doing a bunch of activities and you're all hopped up on like pop and pizza. um
I'm hopped up on Mountain Dew.
and
Bobby?
I don't know what that is.
From Talladega Nights. Ricky Bobby, the kids.
Oh, one of the kids,
I'm
sure.
all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Fregley, right? The redhead.
Yeah.
I know his name. Whatever. But with that all-nighter, we were playing, I think it was Gargoyles. Whatever. I was just chasing someone down a hallway, and they went out the doors, like outside of the church, to then go around the building. And I thought, am I gonna choose going like after the kid? So I was in between two people. Am I gonna go for the kid that's like my age, my height, pretty, like I'm pretty sure I could catch him, or am I gonna go for the guy that I think that year he like left to join the Navy and was like real big into vitamins and was like just kind of a big guy. This is
really big into vitamins.
This is Julia's older brother. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm not going for him. Let me run for this kid that like I think.
Oh, okay, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I unplugged the mics.
Oh
We're back.
no.
But it was Julia's brother.
Yeah. Didn't chase after him for obvious reasons. So then I tried going out after the kid that went outside the building. But this is at like fucking 3 or 4 a.m. Like I didn't have the coordination. It was like an hour until our parents were gonna pick us up. And I pushed the doors. I thought that they would like fling open. They didn't. And so I was basically running full force through doors that were halfway open, like not even. And so I don't remember much, but I just remember hearing a really loud bang, and that was my head against the fucking glass doors.
Your face hitting.
Yeah, it's like everything, it was like a pow in comics where everything's just kind of yellow and red. And
onomatopoeia.
Yeah. And my head like flung backwards, and all of a sudden I'm like on my hands and knees this is in the winter also, outside, just wearing like fucking pants and a t-shirt. There's snow on the ground, and then I feel like a weird pressure in my head, and I'm not wearing my glasses anymore, so I feel around on the ground. I'm like Velma, I can't see without my glasses. And I find my glasses, but the arm on one side is completely off. So I thought, okay, fuck, something really bad happened. Jesus. I did find the other arm, but I'm like scrambling. I'm like, okay, well, I'm definitely not catching up to the kid. But the kid that I ran after, he was only like 5 feet in front of me, didn't stop.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Didn't turn. No, he was running away. He got off scot-free, and I didn't tag him. So whatever, why the fuck would he care?
Yeah.
Asshole.
Running for his life.
Yeah. But I'm feeling around. I grabbed both pieces of my glasses. Didn't realize there was a screw missing. Didn't ever find that. Um, but I just waddle over to the gym entrance, and my face is feeling kind of hot. And I knock on the door, and one of my friends runs over, and she opens the door, and she's like, "Oh my God, what happened to you?" It's like I broke my glasses, just kind of in a daze, and
Yeah.
she's like, "You're bleeding." I got this big old gash on my eye, and it immediately starts swelling up like bad. So everyone like ran me into the bathroom, and they called my parents, and I mean at that point it was already like pretty much time for them to come and pick us up anyways. But yeah, so I sat for a while just with like a bag of frozen peas on my eye in the foyer with a bunch of kids still running around playing the game that I just totally smashed my face in playing, and it was whatever. And I got a pretty bad black eye. I almost called it a purple eye after that. And then the fucking Christmas concert that all the kids were putting on was like the next week in church. And so I had to go up on stage with all the kids with my shiner. My shiner glowing for
Your
the
nice
Lord to
old
see.
shiner.
Yeah. I felt pretty cool with it though, if I'm being honest.
I mean,
It didn't hurt that bad, and I'd always wanted a black eye, but I didn't want to obviously do anything that would give me a black eye.
Right.
It's like it would be cool to have like a cast. You know, that kind of thing. You want
yeah.
that kind of attention.
Yeah.
I broke my pinky toe once by kicking a rock. Not intentionally, but
I felt bad for my best friend growing up because he broke his collarbone when we were like, I don't know, 13 or 14 or something like that.
Yeah.
And you don't get a cast for your collarbone. You get a sling, so you don't move your arm.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
You break a bone, but you don't get a cast?
Damn, man.
Damn.
Yeah. No, that would be crazy. I always wanted one that was glow in the dark. But, because then you could see it when you're sleeping.
God, I don't... Casts, Community has forever scarred me with the idea of casts. When, like, Pierce has his cast,
and all
then
the
they
shit
cut it off him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're stinky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of black eyes, we're so far off ghosts now.
We're not talking about ghosts. We're talking about sleep.
Sorry.
Even
We're so
sleepy.
far off sleep.
I just brought it back to sleep a second
Well,
ago, but you weren't paying attention.
What would you say?
So sleepy.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh.
I know I said sleep though.
I was my dad. I don't want to say my dad's favorite joke, but the joke I remember the most my dad telling growing up was about the ghost with one black eye. I told you that joke.
I don't think so.
It's kind of a long one, and it's not good.
Okay.
Do you wanna hear it?
I don't know.
It's
How long is long? Are we gonna go on for 20 minutes talking about this ghost?
No.
Okay,
No.
no, give it to me.
It's certainly not like a one-liner or a three-liner.
Give it to me. I just
okay.
just stop hesitating.
All
Tell
right,
me
all right,
your
all right.
very
So
fascinating story.
There's a family. Yeah, you're gonna fall asleep.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna wake you up with the punchline because it's that good. So there's a family making breakfast one morning. There's a dad. There's a mom, a dad, an older brother, and then a little baby, a little toddler baby. And and the dad's cooking up some grub, and he's like, hey, what does everybody want to drink, and someone's like, oh, milk and orange juice, and then the baby's like, I want my juice, and then so the mom's like, okay, yeah, here, let me get you the juice, and she goes over to the fridge and she looks for the juice and like, oh no, we're all out of juice, and dad's like, oh, we should have some in the basement. I can go get that for you. And the baby's like, I want my juice. And so the dad's like, fucking Jesus Christ, baby, calm down. I'm gonna go get your goddamn juice. So he opens up the door to the basement and he goes down. And like, my dad is so good at telling this joke because he does like the sound effects for the door, and it's like, and then like the dad goes down the stairs, and then like goes to flick onto the light to the basement. Light doesn't turn on, so it's pitch black. But it's his basement. He knows where the freezer's at. So he goes to walk over to the freezer. He gets halfway through the room, and a ghost shows up right in front of his face, and he says, "I'm the ghost with one black eye. The dad goes, ah! Runs back up the stairs. Closes the door. Throws his back up against it. It's like, I'm sorry, baby. There's a ghost down there. I am not getting that juice. And then, I kind of am telling it wrong, whatever. But the mom goes down the stairs, and then, but the baby's like, I want my juice. And so the mom's like, okay, Jesus, I'll calm down. I'll go get the juice. There's definitely not a ghost
Mom to the
down
rescue.
there. Yeah, mom to the rescue. Mom opens up the door. It goes down the stairs. Different sound effect, different person.
Yeah.
Good audio work.
And it was a lighter sound because it's a woman.
She exactly. She goes to
down the stairs. There's a dainty woman.
She goes to flick the light on. Light won't turn on. Goes into the dark basement anyways. Ghost pops up. Ah, I'm the ghost with one black eye. Ah, she runs back up the stairs. Dum 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 dum. And then slams the door. It's like, baby, I am so sorry, but there is really a ghost down there. I can't get you your juice. And then just to speed the process along, we'll skip the child because you get the idea at this point.
Yeah.
So then the baby's like, I gotta do everything around here. So the baby opens up the door, goes down the stairs, like it's dragging,
sliding,
dragging its
diaper
butt
across the steps. Yeah, that's good.
And then doesn't even care about trying to flip the light on. Strolls into the basement. The ghost pops up and says, I'm the ghost with one black eye. And then the baby says, I'll give you a second black eye if you don't give me my juice.
That's it?
That's it. That's it, dude.
Hey, that's good. Hey, that baby knows what that baby wants.
Exactly.
And that baby wants some goddamn juice.
That baby wants some motherfucking juice.
Basement juice.
Basement juice.
Yeah. Where's the weirdest spot you've slept?
Weirdest in a tuba case.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Why? Tell me what were the events that led up to you sleeping inside a tuba case?
Well, I was in 6th grade is when I first started playing tuba. And the tuba's a fairly large instrument. And the tubas that we had just purchased new cases for. Like, brand new cases. To, like, put your tuba inside. Because you were supposed to
Do you need a second?
Sorry, I'm burping a lot.
Yeah, I know. Do you need a second?
Yeah, I'm alright. You were supposed to take it home, like, every day with you to practice.
One black-eyed ghost coming for you.
Yeah. You're supposed to take your instrument home with you every day. And, like, God, that was such a pain in the ass to take a tuba home with you every day on the bus.
As a 6th grader?
Yeah.
Oof.
It's this size. It's literally like...
You as a 6th grader?
Yeah, it would, like, come up to, like, my where my neck would start.
Yeah.
And well, maybe not. Maybe that might have been a bit of an exaggeration.
But pretty gosh darn big.
Right, yeah. And so, like, I, got home one day. This is pretty early on of me having the tuba. And I was just, like, practicing in our basement. And, I had the case open with the tuba out. And I was like, that case is pretty big. I feel like I could fit inside of it. So, like, I went and I, like, laid inside of it. I didn't close it or anything. But, like, I was able to, like, curl up, like, into a ball and, like, fit inside of where, like, the tuba would go. And there's, like, a nice little cushiony spot.
Yeah.
And, like, I laid my head on it, and I like, legit fell asleep for a little bit.
That's crazy.
It was nice.
Yeah.
That's probably the weirdest.
I don't know that I don't think I've intentionally chosen something odd quite like that. But for any of my raised Christian folk out there, if y'all know the Ark exhibit, I've slept in that bitch twice.
Hell yeah.
And the Creation Museum once. So
you're like way more Christian than
essentially.
You got the hella Christian clout.
Yeah, I absorbed it all in my nights in Ken Ham's Creation Museum. God. But when I slept in the Creation Museum, it was actually really nice because I slept in like the aquarium part with all the like the blue lights that like shone like water on the floor. Like that was fun. Talk about a nightlight. That was a nice nightlight.
I bet it was.
but sleeping in the Ark sucked because they have people that do that fairly regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if any of you have been in the Ark or maybe even think, what would that building be like? Yeah, there's no carpet in a biblically accurate Ark. It's all just wood. Would you believe? Would you believe?
Exactly?
And so we
I
like
would not.
slept like in the bow of the ship with like just on wood, and there weren't like outlets also like that many. There was like two like on either side really close to the front.
Well, yeah, dude, it's a boat.
But you'd have to charge your phone so far away from the fucking ship, like well where you'd sleep.
Well,
not
yeah,
from the ship,
where
but
would Noah charge his phone?
God just did it. He lightning bolt.
That's right.
That's Zeus. Never mind.
No, God could do it, right? 'Cause
well-
he's better than Zeus.
Whatever. But to go to the bathroom, you'd have to walk by the Moses animatronic, and when it would like go off because it was
Oh, it's
motion activated.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he'd just be like, go talk to my wife Sarah, and there'd be like a parrot squawking.
Dude,
God.
It's so lame that like a ton of. Cause, I mean, I used to work at like museum exhibition stuff, so like I'm like a big fan of like designing museums and like how museums like that's such a cool idea for a museum to like build a life-size replica of this like theoretically ancient thing,
right?
You know? But it like and then because you talk about like that door in the basement, then also I'm like I'll let you describe that.
Oh, that's in the Creation Museum, not in the Ark.
Oh, okay.
But
right, and I forget that they're different.
Yeah, it's the same. Ken Ham did all of it. And I think I've talked about this video before, but I feel like every time we talk about the Ark, I really also want to talk about. Can you stall for me for a second?
Yeah, I can stall a bit. I'm gonna talk more about museums. I really enjoy the idea of trying to create like an educational.
Okay, so is it okay that I jump in?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about what you're going on?
I was just gonna say I enjoy the art of creating an educational experience that's engaging and educational.
I used to maybe that's another thing we talk about is just museums.
Oh, I could talk about museums.
Yeah. So stick around. We'll probably talk about
like I want to do the Titanic Museum where you get like a little ticket of like to represent like who you would be.
Yeah, that's fun. That's real fun.
Isn't it?
But the YouTube video that I keep kind of talking about is everything wrong everything wrong with the Creation Museum and the Ark exhibit on YouTube by Gutsick Gibbon. And she just kind of goes through a lot of like it's almost 2 hours long. It's everything, like a lot that's like wrong, like just scientifically with the way stuff is presented in the museum as like scientific fact.
Yeah.
That there's just so much that it's like, it's just bullshit. It's just propaganda. It's just, here's this Bible verse, so that means that this poem means that this is reality.
Right.
You know?
And like by calling themselves a museum, they have like an authority in someone's mind.
Right.
Just inherently.
And like they have education programs and stuff going through, just like telling every like young impressionable minds that this is just real and true, which is
yikes.
I mean, that's what I was told when I went through it. But it's only because I did the work and was, I had some fucking conscientious thought that I thought, is this correct? Let me look. And no, it's not. But what was I gonna say about sleeping in the
door?
Ark? Oh, yeah, you were telling, about the door. But in the Creation Museum, there's, everything, like, in there is a lot of emotional manipulation, which is why I, like, thought I became a Christian. Because I was so skeptic about so much stuff that I was like, I don't know, I'm getting taught this, but I don't know that I'd consider myself a Christian. Until we went to the Creation Museum, and there's this one, like, hallway, and it's all about like this is what happened after the fall of man and sin entered the world, and this is the effects of sin. And there's this like beat up door that just is like there's like 10 deadbolts on it, and like scratched it says like turn back, it's not safe here or something, and there's just like screaming
Yeah,
audio and
that's the
like
crazy part.
emaciated children and bombs and like, and I was like, God, in the second grade or something when we went, like that so left an impression on my mind.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, I really don't want to go to hell.
Right.
Like, is that just because I think maybe this isn't for me? I can either think that or I can accept it, but then not have this fear of hell.
And that's the power of like the immersive experience.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the power of a museum, baby.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I didn't sleep in that part. I slept over by the fishies with the nice running water sounds and all that stuff.
For the museum exhibit that I worked on, I did the AV work, and part of it was we had like the dinosaur video running, and there was audio that went with it, but it was just supposed to be like them running around, so you would hear like a small tyrannosaurus shriek, which just sounded like ah! And it would be like pretty loud every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I had them like programmed to turn on like every day before I would get there to like make sure they were turning on time and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like you would walk into like a totally dark and like essentially like empty like museum, and then you just hear these like shrieks off in the distance of like my exhibit.
Yeah. Oh God. I don't know why that made me think about like animals and like the sleeping positions that animals have. You know, animals sleep in weird positions.
I know Gizmo sleeps in weird positions.
Oh, she sleeps in the best positions.
She likes to cover her face when she sleeps.
Yeah, it's the sweetest little thing. She covers her eyes into a little blackout. But there was one time that I caught Gizmo just like laying on her back with her legs like down, and her like chin up. She kind of looked just like she passed out or she died or something. She was just knocked the fuck out.
Gizmo.
Flamingos or like birds. A lot of birds sleep with their like necks craned and under their wing. Wouldn't that be an interesting way to sleep?
Yeah.
A bat sleeps upside down. Would you want to sleep upside down ever?
No, I don't like the feeling of being upside down.
I don't either. I remember being a kid and like wanting to overcome the feeling of dizziness that you get when you turn upside down. So I would have like an hour a day that I would try to like essentially walk upside down. Like I'd like crab walk. Yeah. With my head flipped upside down, or I'd sit on the couch and I'd just lay my head over the side.
Yeah, I remember doing that a lot and like pretending that like the floor's the ceiling.
And that's fun.
Yeah.
It's really good to just switch up your perspective about a space, you know, really intimately.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
It's interesting.
I don't know. You got any other sleep ideas? Sleep thoughts?
You ever seen Dr. Sleep?
No.
It's the Shining sequel.
Yeah, no, I never saw it.
Ewan McGregor?
Mm-mm.
Not great.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some horror movies, but not that many. And definitely not before bed. No, we did see... What was the... Heretic? Is that the new... What was the fucking...
Oh, yeah, we did
Hugh
watch
Grant?
The Heretic. Yeah, that was kind of really disappointing.
Yeah. It got really close to something fun.
And then
we kind of watched that before bed. And then it chose the most basic way to wrap it up.
Yeah.
It was like, what do you think it's been leading up to this whole time? The first thing you thought of in the first 10 minutes of the movie? Yep, it's that.
It's I don't mean to spoil it at all. But
Let's not.
Well, alright, whatever.
I think it's...
I hate the conclusion that it comes to, because it's not a fucking... It's the most obvious conclusion that anyone has whenever they criticize religion.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I guess that's not that big of a spoiler, though. Do you want to just get into that?
No, because any deeper, I would spoil it.
Right. Gizmo, do you have anything to say? Is it picking up?
No.
For purring?
No.
Not at all?
Well... It might be.
I was gonna say, it's like right in her face. I bet you y'all are hearing it. She's got a lot to say.
We'll check it out after this. Hopefully that wasn't just nothing for you guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get to hear Gizmo.
Yeah. It was just some dead silence. What are some of the most soothing sounds to you, like when you are going to bed?
I, for the longest time, um, well, okay, no, growing up, I had a really hard time falling asleep if my parents weren't watching TV out in the living room.
Mm.
And like it was just really quiet in the house. I had a really hard time falling asleep like that. Um, like I remember when I was 5 or 6 maybe, my mom picked up a second job working at Meijer at night. And then when my mom would have a shift at Meijer, my dad would go downstairs to play World of Warcraft because I have a really cool dad. And that's like then there wouldn't be like TV playing, and I like wouldn't be able to fall asleep until like my mom got home.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never had that kind of thing. If I ever heard like adults out about and doing stuff, I'd want to be a part of it. Like when we'd have extended family coming over or anything, it's not like my parents would ever just like put on TV or something that Katie and I could hear from our room. But occasionally it would be, okay, girls, it's time for bed. We'd go to bed, and then our extended family would like all get around the dining room table and play Rummy Cube, which is a tile game. So the tiles would slam against our wooden table, and you just hear the rattling of the tiles.
Oh,
And it's such it's a fun game, but kind of something that you can zone out to.
sure.
You just got to do runs of numbers or same of different colors, and then there's like 2 wild tiles. It's like really simple, and you can add and take away. I'm explaining I was gonna say mahjong. Fuck, other tile game. But yeah, whenever I heard the Rummy Cube tiles, that would make it hard for me to fall asleep because I just want to have fun.
Girls just want to have fun.
Yeah, girls just want to have fun. I really liked though the sound of a train horn, and I still really like the sound of
like
a
off in
distant
the
train
distant,
horn.
Yeah.
Because we lived right by some train tracks, and occasionally, especially during the summer, you just hear little toot toot in the distance in the breeze.
We have a train that runs right behind us at work.
That's
Goes by
fun.
a few times a day. Yeah, a couple days ago, someone in the back was playing "Runaway Train, Don't You Never Come Back," and then train cars started going by.
But morning train 9 to 5.
Do you know Dick Night Train Lane?
Dick Train Lane?
Dick Night Train Lane.
No.
He used to play for the Detroit Lions, I think in like the 80s, maybe the 90s.
Yeah.
He's like a very vintage Lions player.
Vintage.
Yeah, he's got the coolest fucking nickname for a football player ever. Freaking Night Train.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Isn't it?
That's badass.
Night Train Sleep. What if there is a movie, alright? Okay, hear me out. This is an interesting idea. It's the Night Train. Well, okay. I'm thinking out loud here. I'm trying to develop a movie about people on a train who like sleep on this train.
Snowpiercer?
Maybe. It's a little Snowpiercer. It's a little what's
Harry
the
Potter?
Express movie?
Hogwarts? No, it's Polar Express.
Polar Express, thank you. It's a little Polar Express. It's a little Inception, maybe? Like,
I don't
like,
know
I want
what
it to
the
be
point of it is.
well, I want it to be a bunch of people on a train dreaming.
Yeah.
And then
that's the next blockbuster.
then-
Oh my god.
Okay,
You heard
but,
it
like,
here first.
so,
Don't
like,
steal
that's-
this idea.
That's our setting. Where's our conflict? How do we have conflict there? Is it like people who struggle to sleep, so they? Oh yeah, okay. So it's people who suffer amnesia. They book
Amnesia?
no,
They don't remember things.
Insomnia. They book a ticket to the night train where they like knock you out, and then the night train people do nefarious things to you while you're sleeping.
Harvest your organs.
But then our hero, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he
What a pick.
he has such strong amnesia and not amnesia insomnia that like their tricks don't even work on him, so he's just awake wandering the train and finds all the weird shit that's going on.
I think you developed it into something a little more interesting. I think maybe we'll workshop that a little bit and talk about it in our movies podcast.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a pivotal actor for this role.
I mean, it sounds like it. You didn't even hesitate.
Mm-mm.
I saw that look in your eye. You were determined. It's got to be
It's
him. Him or this movie's not getting made.
Mm-mm.
Hey, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, please put down in the comments, will you be willing to act in this movie?
Please.
Yes or no? Thank you. And also comment if you'd like to hear us talk about poop.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Shout out Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
You want to call it there? Oh, that's an hour right there.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I think let's wrap it up there.
Okay.
Just a little sleepy one for you guys.
Yeah.
Let us know if you got any recurring dreams. Anything that you like to do before bed, your nighttime routine, sounds you like hearing before going to bed.
Yep.
I like the sound of a fan, a little white noise. Definitely Gizmo scratching away on her litter box, and that wakes you up at 6 a.m. and every time you go, ah, ah.
I haven't done that in a while, but she's gotten better.
This morning you laughed.
I did.
Yeah. Anyways. Hey, guess what? We
talked about that.
that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nailed it.
took it. Yeah, we got there. Sleep.
Sleep.
Sleepy
time. Good night, everybody.
Honk shoe.
Sleep
honk
well.
Shoe. Love you. Bye.
Sweet
Honk shoe.
dreams.